Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday! And I didn't yell at you this time. That's not to say that I'm not exuberant. I am. It's another week. Another week in the world of Warhammer and Warhipster. Just what everybody wanted, right? Right. How are you guys doing? Finished Fulgrim finally. That's exciting. Good morning and evening to Josh and all in chat. Holiday in the States. Holiday today as well. It is a bank holiday Monday. So everybody's chilling, relaxing, maxing all cool. Probably got those the wrong way round, but there we go. Hello, Captain Mannerings, Pip2, number 42, Philip G, Dutch Army Painter, Dave T, Zangerous, David Hill, Mini Painting Dad, Aidan Hughes, Thomas, Reverend Chris Lawton, Grey Wolf, Flying Muttley, hello, sir, The Tattooed Zoologist, Pridders, Millie Paints, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. One of those greetings. Take it and apply it to yourself. Painting a Primaris Chaplain on bike tonight, as you do. As you do, indeed. Today we're doing a bit of a hodgepodge of things. It's Me Time Monday, but it's technically We Time Monday, because it's one for you, one for me, which then inevitably becomes one for you. Today is what we're doing. My hands are covered in paint. You'll never guess what I've been painting. Bet you can't. Anyway. Yes, we are back. We are live. And today we are doing all sorts of things. So, one of the things we're going to be doing first is... Hello, Will. You can already see there's a Space Wolf there. Today we're going to finish these bases on these 5 Blood Claws. There's the other one. So we've got those 5 Blood Claws bases to do. For those of you who are excited for Space Wolves, check that out. Woo! I've even gone ahead and I've done some decals. Because a friend of mine was like, if you don't do the decals, they look... Everyone's going to mention it. So I've done the decals. Hello, new subscriber. Painted along with a few videos. Excited to paint along with Space Wolves. Well, I'm very, very, very excited for you to paint along with the Space Wolves. We've got a lot of Space Wolf content for you coming on the way this week. We have the Wolf Priests, we have the Blood Claws, we have the Head Takers, we have the Grey Hunters. We've got a lot of cool shit. I just swore. I don't normally do that. You can tell that my brain is all over the place. I do apologise. I mean, those of you who have met me know that I do swear like a sailor, but I generally try not to. That is looking nice. Thank you very much, Millie. Oh, right. Let's get basing, shall we? But how are you guys? Put a penny in the swear jar. I shall. I don't have a swear jar, but I shall paint one. Hi, been a while since I joined the live. Going to watch/listen while I read Assassin's Quest. That sounds awesome. We'll patiently paint guard until the wolves are here. It shan't be long now. Glad that Warhipster decided to give GW permission to launch the new MESBG models up for pre-order next Saturday. Yep, that was me. I'm the one who has control over the global supply chain. Not anyone else. Can you imagine? If I did have control over the global supply chain for Games Workshop, guess what would be coming out all of the time and what wouldn't be coming out any of the time? So Space Wolves are the Furies that are all about loving the Codex and drinking blood right and being ultra-religious. I guess so. You tell me. I don't know anything. I'm just a dumb painter. Ah, my delicate ears. First time watching a stream, and this is what I'm subjected to. Lol. Love your paint style. Great help getting my demons ready. And now wolves. Good fun. Ah, excellent. Excellent. Doing some more Melania, Goddess of Rot tonight. Skin is certainly a challenge. Yeah, I imagine it is on that model. I had the paint. It's there. Tyrant Skull. Shock. Horror. Evening. How was the trip to Warhammer World last week? Oh, the trip to Warhammer World was great. I forgot to do something, which Alice encouraged me to do. The problem is this requires me to be a super self-confident person, and to be like, I have no, things to give, as it were. But hold on, if we just I wonder what one that one's going to be. No, it's this one. So if I just do that. So she encouraged me to appear on the stream just like this. Sup. Yo, it's your boy, the Warhipster. Second best person of all times. Yes, I had a really great time at Warhammer World. I won a couple of medals. Oh, I've given myself the ick now I've done that. I won most sporting player, and I won second best painted. So that was very nice. It was a nice surprise. I really enjoyed that. That was lovely. Watch out, we got a badass over here. There were some great looking armies. There were some fantastic looking armies. The winner overall had a wonderful Git Mob painted, a wonderful painted Git Mob army. The winner of best painted overall. It was beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Love to hear it. Love to see it as well. And for those of you that follow THWG, Josh, did you know those Saturnine Termies look like those big dudes from Fifth Element? What's THWG? I recently bought the Spaceballs Army set over the weekend, and these are my first ever 40k models. Did I make a mistake? No, you didn't make a mistake. They're good. They're good models. They're good. It's good stuff. It is good stuff. I would say you made a great choice to buy them. Hashtag swag. Thanks, Alice. Hashtag swag. Won 2 medals and finally finished writing the 3rd MESBG book. You've had quite a busy weekend. Yeah, see? Guys, I'm not the ring bearer. I wish I was. Oh, the Honest War Game. Oh, I see. I see. Who judged? We need to send an inquisitor. The people judged. Trust me, it's a fair. Me getting second is higher than I should have. I feel like I should have got. You know. It was a people's vote, guys. Warhammer World will be the first thing I will journey to when my kids are old enough to be alone. It's a good idea. Is there any hope going against the Stormcast Dragon list with my death rattle? I'd say there is. Yes. You have the So if you've got the death rattle thing, you get there's a bonus to being to outnumbering your opponent. I can't remember what it is though. Is it +1 to attacks or +1 to rend or +1 to hit, something like that? Anyway, feeding it death rattle skeletons, them dying and then coming back, adding more back to it, and then feeding it more. You will wear it down, no problem. I also, at the weekend, guys, I got to meet Flying Muttley. He's an absolute gentleman. Lovely man. We played together. It was our first game. That was funny. Well, I said to him before we started, I said, shall we ask if we can play each other so that you can show me how to play this game properly? Because obviously I haven't really actually played AOS 4 properly yet. And then it just went, here are the pairings. It's like, you're playing 5. You guys are playing. Without any prompting. So that was fun. And we had a lovely game. There we go. One down. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who has watched any of the Space Wolves videos we've had so far. We've only had 2, but big thank you. There was a short window where there was only like 3 or 4 videos on the internet about Space Wolves. Well, the new army set. There's tons of videos about Space Wolves, but there was a very, very short window where there was Painting Coach done a really cool unboxing, and a couple of other people have done, codex reviews and stuff like that. But there wasn't any painting content yet. So a massive thank you to everybody who checked mine out. As I said, there is a lot of painting content on the way for you. We have Grey Hunters, these Blood Claws, which I keep dropping. Something's gone wrong with my hands today, clearly. Lol. I'm guessing the salt is real when comparing the Space Wolves to the Blood Angels. Do you know what? No. I just kind of don't really care now what 40k does. That's where I kind of ended up, you see. They got rid of... There's not going to be a Codex Chaos Demons. And they got rid of most of the units in my Blood Angels army that made them Blood Angels. And replaced some of them with a Skull and Crossbones on a thingy. On an upgrade sprue. So, in that regard... Cool. 40k is as 40k does. You guys go right ahead. You have fun. Good luck, kids. Have fun. And yeah. So now I can just be like, well, I'll just focus my passions and my energy on Age of Sigmar, where it's all systems go, as you saw today. Not today, yesterday. General's Handbook. Imminent. Sand and Bone, hilarious. Also imminent. MESBG, imminent. Beastmen, if you're into that kind of thing, for the old world, imminent. 40k, doing the Space Wolves thing, and the Space Wolves miniatures are very cool. Don't get me wrong, but I'll engage a little bit more with 40k next year. When 11th edition comes out. I'll be like, right, time to get passionate about 40k again. And then they'll be like, we've made it even more competitive, guys. Now, you no longer roll dice. What you do is you compare stat blocks and then just decide who would win based on the priority. Meaning that your games of 40k can be done in 20 minutes. We've removed the shooting and the combat phase, and we've replaced it with the talking it out phase. So now, an entire turn goes command phase, movement phase, talking it out phase, rinse and repeat. How were they to build? The Space Wolves were very fun to build. They're very, I'd say, classic Warhammer. So in the same way that if you've built the what's they called, the Emperor's Children, the Infractors and the Tormentors, the Infractors and the Tormentors had the there's 5 bodies, and then you choose the posing based on the arms, and all of the arms aren't like part locked or anything. There's no key locking that's going on here. It's the same thing for the Space Wolves. There's not really, none of the arms are part or key locked. So you could put Blood Claws chainswords on your Grey Hunters chainswords because they're fundamentally the same, but some of the posing in the arms is different. So there's a bit of that kind of thing. There's so many different heads in the boxes that, like, the head takers alone have 9, I think. The one thing I thought was interesting is there's no sculpted shoulder pads, really. Not really. Not in the same way that like the Blood Angels or the Dark Angels army sets got. They got an upgrade sprue. There isn't one of those here. There is no upgrade sprue. So they're all just clean shoulders. But you do get a really cool transfer sheet now. Any hopes for what the faction focus for 11th might be? We had Tyranids for 10th and Necrons for 9th, so I wonder what 11th might be. Well, it'll be Space Marines versus something. I would like it to be Chaos. It's had a lot of Xenos. But I think they'd have to do a brand new Chaos faction in order for it to work. Nope, none of those. Not those. Those, hooray! I'm so glad the Blood Claws and Grey Hunters weren't monopose. I'm going to have to work hard to make the Headhunters unique, as I will probably have a lot of them. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you have got 9 heads in there, so that's 3 units sorted from a head's perspective. And then each of them can be equipped with an axe and a power shield, a power axe and a storm shield, or a power axe and a power sword. So that's 2 completely different units. And then your third, you might have to do a little bit of hard work on them. But you'll find out. I'm guessing if you're considering that, Pritters, and based on what I know about you, converting and changing your models up isn't exactly a problem for you. For me, it is, because I hate building miniatures. Drukhari about Dew. Yeah. It's probably quite likely that it'll be something like Drukhari, but who knows? I mean, I would prefer for them to surprise us and do something that you can't predict. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I would like the Legion. I would like the Lost and the Damned. So Chaos, like traitor guardsmen and mutated humans and sort of non-Astartes demon engines and more demons. I'd like to see the ravages of the Cicatrix Maledictum made flesh upon the galaxy. Not just slightly bigger Cabalite warriors. And a new plastic Archon. Facing off against all new Space Marines designed to kick them in the face. Until you expand the armies and then it's just a problem. Who knows? They might surprise us and just be like, 11th edition is not only a rehash of 10th edition, the core box is also a rehash of the 3rd edition core box. So it's Black Templars versus Drakari. And inside the box is 10 Intercessors and a Land Speeder. Gary92, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. That's very, very kind of you. You are our first new member of the day. That means we get to update some numbers. I'm gonna disappoint all of you, and well, there is unfortunately only 5 days left for you to fund the calendar, and as you can see, we're only a quarter of the way there. How was the Warhammer World trip? It was great, thank you, Alan. I had a fantastic time. I'll show you all the swag that I picked up as well. Just in case warning turns up. I've got it locked and loaded and ready. In its boxes, I haven't built any of it. But you MESBG fans, there's a lot of content in your future. Time dependent, of course. You know, I have a really busy week this week doing some things. Based on the amount of requests there's been as well for the Elves video. The Elves video is looking like it's going to be changing quite significantly to basically a 3-part video. For it to make sense. It looks a little bit silly, but it's fine. Warning is dead. No one changed their name. Ah, no one. Hello, no one. Did all that sheet of grass get used on this one squad? No. No, barely any of it got used on... I've used maybe like a third of it to do the entire army box. I gave up funding it. I'll have to settle for my AI generated one. That's fair. It's probably better. Probably have more definition in the body, you know. What brand of tufts are you using? Gamer's Grass. Those are the mixed green. Tiny 2mm mixed green. Did you do lots of shopping at World? Yes, I have lots of things. Okay. Let me show you. Okay, firstly, here's the dumbest thing in the world. Why? This is bigger than me. Why is it like that? But there you go. Moria terrain. We have Palace Guards. We have the Dark Lord Sauron. We have the Trolls. We have Shank, Rot and the Snow Troll from the War of the Rohirrim. We have Great Eagles. We have Mirkwood Rangers. They didn't have any Lothlorien. And we have Hunt for the Arkenstone. And in Hunt for the Arkenstone, we have Thorin's Company. This is the only way to get them. The only way to get them. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff. But given as we now looking forward to the content, thank you, Millie. It's a lot of content. But given as we have, given as we now have, so I was going to say, given as what we now have is for the elves video, okay, is for the Warriors of the Last Alliance, where we have Glorfindel, Elrond, and we have the High Elves. What I'm thinking I might do is just do a Last Alliance of Elves and Men, and do the Warriors of Numenor, do the Numenorians, Elrond, Glorfindel. I'll try and find an old Gil-galad I have, but maybe I won't, maybe I'm not, and just do that as a video. Mirkwood Rise. We're still waiting for Thranduil to appear, and there is a better version of Legolas to do for the Mirkwood section of it, with the Legolas and Tauriel, because we've now got Mirkwood Warriors, Palace Guard, and Rangers. So that's basically all of Mirkwood. If we can get Thranduil and Legolas and Tauriel, that's a video in and of itself. And then for Lothlorien, we have Haldir, Galadrim warriors. If we can pick up some Lorien rangers, and I can try and get Galadriel and Celeborn as well, maybe. Then we can just do a Lothlorien video. Will Last Alliance include Sauron, the Fallen, Isildur, and Elendil? So what I think for the Sauron video can just be Sauron and Fallen, Isildur, and Elendil as a box. I think that's probably fine as a video on its own. That would be my assumption. So there's a little bit of going back to the drawing board a little bit because of your generosity. No one changed their name, and because of how many extra kits we've now got, the videos have now become quite expansive. So it now means we probably need to do 3 separate ones, and slightly change our strategy on doing those. But they will happen, basically, because we've already figured out some parts of it as well. So it's just kind of a case of just getting on with it. But yeah. But yeah. Tons of stuff. Bard's family when. I tried to get a Bard the Bowman. But I didn't want the resin one with the wind lance. I wanted the other one and they didn't have it. And then the other one's out of stock. Because I thought if we're going to do Bard's family, we might as well do Bard as well, you know. Do it all together. Are you going to settle on the non-mounted Thranduil? No, absolutely not. I want the good one, not the rubbish one. What's the occasion for so much MESBG, Josh? Glad you're doing it. Well, because I want to, and also because no one changed their name. Wanted to see it. I'm never getting Mirkwood then. Sad. Well, maybe what we'll do is we'll try and... Let's see. Oh. Let's have a look. Middle-earth. The Hobbit. Halls of Thranduil. See, what I want is the Legolas, Greenleaf, and Tauriel set, not Legolas, Greenleaf, and Tauriel Mirkwood Hunters set. But I've got Palace Guards, Mirkwood Armoured Elves, and Mirkwood Rangers. So, leave it with me. I do have a Balrog on the way, actually. I should say. Anyway, lots of things to be getting on. I'm never getting... that thing's been out of stock for years. Yeah, because I keep throwing money at him. Lots and lots of money. He does. He does. And I'm trying. I'm trying to make a pile of content around it. But yeah, basically, I'm going to change up some things in my head, but there's going to be a bunch of stuff. Because Moose Daddy needs the knights too. It does. Bard is available online now. Is it? Filters. Garrison of Dale? No, that's King Brand. We don't want that. We want Army of Lake Town. View results. Bard the Bowman on foot and mounted. Oh yeah, that is pretty horrible. Yeah, that looks like fine cast to me. Filters, Army of Lake Town. View results. Hero of Lake Town. It is better. It is in better nick, I suppose. Yeah. Oh. Doesn't look great. Yeah. Either way, lots and lots of cool stuff on the way. Bard the Bowman, now you have no excuse not to do Bard's family. Okay. Thank you very much, Pridders. Okay, add to cart. Is there anything else I'm ordering while I'm here? Ba-doo-doo. Bard with bow is in the cart. I'm going to apply some Black Legion to some base rooms whilst we all think about it. I wanted to send you mine. Dang it. A winged Nazgul. One. A like for the like god. Thank you. You could get Forge World Defenders of Lake Town come with Bard, Legolas, and Tario, but it's a Warhammer World exclusive. See, I saw that and I didn't look at it. That was stupid of me. Which versions of it does it come with? 3. Seeing you tackle and paint up some Rangers of the North / Grey Company would be awesome. Azog to go with new Bolg. See, the slight issue with getting an Azog is I have a sinking feeling that Azog will get a new model gives they've done Bolg. Unless they've done Bolg literally just to clear up the confusion on his terrible model / base. And I'm kind of wary about picking up an Azog only to end up doing another Azog later on. Do you see what I mean? Can't wait for a Prince Imrahil painting vid. Oh, that would be a nice thing to see, wouldn't it? I need them to bring back some Knights of Dol Amroth on foot. That would be a nice thing to do. We did build the ones on the mounted ones. So that was cool. Are you planning on getting the new Hera model? I think if I didn't plan on getting the new Hera model, no one changed their name might find where I live and do unspeakable things to my Warhammer collection. Witch King, that's what you were saying. Filters. No. Middle Earth. Lord of the Rings on Evil. Filters. Sort by. High to low. View results. The Winged Nazgul. There it is. It is in stock. I'll add it to cart. Why not? There we go. It's in the cart. Nazthak and the Shadow of Roudoir. I've got that. It's all good. Can you grab regular orc warriors? I think I've got some of those. Yeah, I should do, because I have the Mordor Battle Host. I've got some wargs here somewhere. Yeah, there's some wargs. Yeah. Hello, go for it painting. Boromir of the White Tower. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. I was looking at Boromir, and I was looking at Gamling as well. And I was like, yeah, I should probably get these. Captain of the White Tower. Yeah. Go on. We'll add him to the bag. Are these going to be horrible fail casts as well? No, they're not. Okay, we'll add them to the cart as well. What was I going to look at? Lothlorien. Yeah, they still don't have the Wood Elf Warriors in stock. This person does, though. Apparently. I don't think you've used your budget yet. No, I don't think I have either. Do I need to pull up PayPal? That sounds like such a threat. Really struggling with gambling. Okay, let's. Do you think? And I'd be interested to know your answer to this, everybody. If I bought some Wood Elf Sentinels, would that be fine instead of the Wood Elf Warriors? I feel like you can pretty much get what you need out of Galadrim. The Wood Elf Sentinels would be fine, wouldn't it? Good lord. Okay. Smaug. I'm not quite ready for Smaug. Okay. Alright. I'm going to put this order in. So we have... I think we're pretty much set there on Galadrim. Because we've got Galadriel and Celeborn, Wood Elf Sentinels, Haldir, the Herald, and Galadrim Warriors. That I think is sorted. Okay. Alright. We should be golden here. So, as a consequence of doing these 5 bases, these blood claws are now finished. And as a consequence, that does mean that the Space Wolves army set is now fully painted. That's cool. With the ongoing regular GW releases, you're already set for years for MESBG content in between. Yes. Hey man, just found your painting guards on the new Soul Blights. They've been a great help to me. You have a great voice for tutorials. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Emil. Rangers and Dunedain are also in stock for Greycoat and Company. God damn. It never ends. Let's do... Okay. So I have the Lords of the Dunedain. Rangers of the North. Are they metal? Are these the classic metal ones? Oh my god, they are. My god. Mein Gott. Okay, they're in the bag. Are you planning on doing any successor chapters at some point? Maybe Wolfspear with the Space Wolves release? I'm not, Lil Clack. I hadn't intended on it. I'll never say never, but the box is really weird in that I have a Space Marine. I have a Space Wolves army, and the box is strange because the Blood Claws and the Grey Hunters both come in units of 10 now. They don't come in units of 5. If the Grey Hunters had come in units of 5, then I might have done something different with them. But I like my armies to be playable. So when I paint them, I generally, like, for example, if a new Space Marine box comes out and there's 10 of them in the box, but they come as a unit of 5s, 2 5s, then 5 of them can be left over to do other things with. But I can't just I can't just fill up my house with individual models painted in one scheme. It's not conducive to my brain at all. But so on this occasion, no, I haven't done any. I'm not intending to do anything else with the Space Wolves that's different to what I've already done. I guess I should say Wood Elf Realms for TOW, since the old world, since there are no modern YouTube guides or contrast guides for them. Lord of the Rings Wood Elves would be cool too. Oh yeah, there's lots of things. Do you have any reasonable plan to paint everything you are buying, or are they going to sit in a closet for months until GW takes a break on releases where you feel bad for not doing what chat paid for? A little column A and a little column B there, you Mail Langbar. And thank you, S. Jerick, for becoming a member. That is very, very kind of you. For each chapter... No, do not do that. No one changed their name. Do not do that. Right. Let's build some Canis Rex. Let's do that. So where did I get to with this? I built up to the end of there. Yeah, so I was on to Fiddly Central for this bit. Cool. I needed the little... those things. Yes. Yes. I think they're only on one sprue. There is plans to try and do as much as everything as possible all of the time, but it isn't always possible. B29. But these say B129. What gives? Oh, these are eagles. Right. Are they on here? Yes, they are. Okay. That was almost a disaster. We're all good. Thoughts on the new Idoneth Deepkin heroes? They're very pretty. They're very pretty indeed. Why is Smaug out of stock? Well, clearly, there's been a rush on Smaug orders. By rush equals 1. Yeah. How would you do the armor of Inquisitor Ostromandius, the 1+ mini? Is it just Flesh Terror's red? I don't know off the top of my head. That's a Google search. Give me a moment. Do you know how to obtain black Numenorians? I don't know. Don't you worry, I'll see you with a Smaug soon. They had one at Warhammer World, but I didn't buy it because I couldn't have transported it home. So I'd have been buying it to, well, start my own self-build at home. Inquisitor Ostromandius. Oh, it's a very dark red, isn't it? If you can wait, I think that's the colour you're after, isn't it? Yeah. This video will be out on Tuesday. So, however I do it in that video, that's how I would do it. Hello, Georgie boy, how? At Millie Paints, I have a plan. Oh no. Are you going to pit us against each other in a fight to the death to paint Smaugs? Hello, Kataro. I have now nearly 5k to paint. Think to quit my job to finish my army. See, now it's not a sneaky plan, is it? Don't want to change the name. Now I know. Hey, Mr. Hipster. How did the TT League day go for you in the end? Do you know what? It went really well. I won both my games. 2-0. I thought about you, actually, Paul. With the Saturnine announcement, I was like, do you know what? Those new Saturnine Terminators, do you know what they look good for? Centurions. And I was like, well, shucks. I'm going to have... I was like, I'm just gonna put the disintegrator weapons on them and call them Centurions. If indeed Games Workshop send them to me, they might not. You can't stop it. I could move house. I could move to a cabin in the woods and never stream again. And I was about to say and grow a beard, but I'm like, So I guess for me to remain anonymous, I'd have to shave my beard, and then no one would know who I am. Oh, and also if I wore contact lenses. Cut my hair. It was quite amusing on Wednesday last week. There was a moment where a bunch of people didn't know who I was and then realised who I was. No one changed the name. I don't paint my regular stuff. I can't also not paint MESBG. Are you a fan of the 40k novels? Any standouts to you, if you are? Yeah, they're okay. I don't think... I don't know if there's any standouts in 40k. Hell's Reach was fun. Hell's Reach is probably a good one. Hey, hope you were good. I'm painting the trim on Noise Marines using your scheme currently. Thanks very much for the video. Oh, you're very welcome, Mega Brune. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Right, where do these go? They go in various positions. I'd find you. See, this is the problem. I knew I shouldn't have spent all that money on that bat signal. Now everyone can find me. The beard signal. No! I dropped one of the doodads. Now I have to go find it. This will take a while because it's tiny. See you in a bit. Any luck on house hunting? No, not yet. This might be one of those times where I just get really upset with myself. Hang on. Okay, that was reasonably painless. I found it. Whew. Any luck on house hunting? No, not yet. We haven't really kicked things off yet. If anybody wants to buy a flat in Bristol, then let us know, because that helps us kick things off a little bit quicker. You don't happen to have a guide on the proper brushes and supplies I should buy prior to getting into painting? Money isn't too much of an issue. I don't have have a guide on that per se, because it's quite a personal thing. I think the advice I would give you is the way to get started in miniature painting is to, and I know you say money isn't an issue, but like I would suggest that actually buying some of the kind of more introductory type things, like some of like the starter brush sets, well, not necessarily the starter brush, but I mean I use Citadel brushes. I use small and medium layer brushes from Citadel to paint, and I use Citadel paints to do all of my paintings, so I have a one-stop shop. Basically what I would recommend is if you can pick up like one of the paint sets from a company that you want to follow, like Games Workshop maybe, or somewhere like that, and just like one set of models, and just see if you vibe with it. And if you vibe with it, then sort of start like looking at like testing out other things and finding other things and doing some more stuff with it. But ultimately, like for me, if I'm getting into a hobby or of some description, I would always, countenance sort of like at the entry point. The entry point's designed to be the entry point, as it were. I've just started painting Thousand Suns using a video, loving how they are turning out. Thank you for all your hard work and video content. Thank you, Ninjali. That's very kind. I'm making it harder for him to move by stocking him up with more stuff. It is true. We'll have to get the next size up in terms of the moving van. Now here's the question, chat. Seeing as I'm going to basically glue it shut, the canopy is shut for Canis Rex, we don't need to build the cockpit, surely. Surely that would be a waste of our time. I mean, we'll build Sir Hector on foot for sure, but we don't. Surely, I don't need to build the canopy because it's just going to be shut, so it would be an entire waste of time. I'm crossing my fingers for you to get your hands on the new Tyranid Raveners and make a guide for Hive Fleet Typhon. Is that what you'd like to see, Alex? We can certainly contemplate that. That's for sure. Where's the canopy? Where is it? Should just be a large piece. There it is. Let's get it cut out. It just seems like a slightly pointless thing to do, is to build all of that stuff and then shut the door on it so you'll never see it. Which is why I don't want to do it. Woo! Build it all, otherwise we'll know the lie. I'm comfortable with you knowing the lie. Did you paint the cockpit and the inside? No. Forgot to tell you, I have finished building the Stormcast. I have got 10 to paint, eventually. We could pump those numbers. Could get you at least one more Stormcast if you pick up what's it called? Canis and Toll, the Saviors of Cinderfall. And again, if you like the Black Talons, Millie, you'll like Canis and Toll, the Saviors of Cinderfall. Josh still coming to UK Games Expo? I am. I am indeed. I'm going to be there on the Saturday. Where are we at? We are on 58 likes on the stream, guys. Thank you so very much. It's very kind of you. Can we get to 60? Can we get to the magic number? To the hilarious number? Can we get to the comedy number? Only you can decide by liking the stream. And if you don't like the stream, then that's fine. Josh, I need to know your thoughts on Saturnine. I think that's absolutely whelming. I am whelmed. I'm more excited for the breaches, honestly. Breaches are really cool. Breaches are fantastic. Breaches are the best. I feel like it's as I think indexing Horus Heresy and doing another edition of it, whilst filling it up with basically alternate versions of armors, well, of things that already exist, as well as paying a little bit of fan service, is never a bad thing. I think having all the Saturnine stuff very much is that. I think it's you guys have wanted this for years, here it is, type thing. Do I think the world needed it? No. Is it a cool thing? Sure. Is it gonna see mass appeal for Horus Heresy? I think it will show the same appeal that it always does for Horus Heresy, if you see what I mean. I think a lot of people will buy it, like they did last time. And a lot of people will throw it into the back of their cupboard and not do anything with it. But, it's like I said, it's perfectly, what's the word? Perfectly cromulent. Like, they're very cool models. They'll be a fun painting project. I honestly don't know how I would make content out of it, because I've already done all of the schemes for all of the legions. And I'm not doing that again on Mark IIs. There's literally no point. So yeah, I don't know what I would do. Hey, we got to the fun number. 69. Nice. Well done. Oh god, it's the fiddly stuff. Right, 119. Sat9 Terminators will become my Alpha Legion Obliterator proxies. Yep, I've heard a lot of people say, oh look, my Obliterators. Or, as I was thinking about the other day, like I said earlier, I was like, oh look, Centurions. You need Black Talons and the Storm Coven. She already has the Black Talons. That's the ones. Black Talons are what successfully hooked me up. There you go. What way round does it go? Personally, for me, I'm finally at a stage with my daughter/career where I can finally get into Horus Heresy. So for me, I'm quite excited. Well, that's awesome, Scrooge. I'm very excited for you. I'm very excited for people who are really excited for it. But it's one of those things. It's like I don't think it looks dumb. I don't think it looks stupid. I don't hate it. I perfectly like it. I'm like, is it something that I would go out and buy myself to get into Horus Heresy? No, it's not. But that's okay. That you don't have to. You don't have to do all of that. You know, the thing that's going to be really interesting with those Saturnine things is, given as it's a specialist game. We'll go back onto the face cam for the moment. Given as it's a specialist game, and knowing what they like to do with specialist games, having built one of the jet bikes for Horus Heresy, the Mark 6 ones, is those Saturnine Terminators, be prepared for them to be about 90 components each. To probably be one of the biggest nightmare builds you've ever had in your life is what I would suggest. Because, like, I bought a Solar Auxilia Basilisk to do for my Death Core of Krieg, and I took one look at the instructions and I was like, no thanks, not today. Not for me, thank you. You know? They're really tempting me to buy Horus Heresy with that box. Could use it for 40k to add more variability in my armies, but I'm already overwhelming with my 4 army projects. That's it. It's Marines versus Marines versus Marines versus Marines times 18. That's it. That is it, you Mail Angler. I'm mostly going to get it because I want more Centurions and the character would be fun to kit bash into something. Yeah. That hammer is truly spectacular. I can't wait to see the tons of demon princes that get made out of it. Do you know what's interesting? Is that the Grey Knights still haven't turned up. Where are they? Why isn't this working? You were working a minute ago. More burning! Oh, I think we found it. Found the blockage. Yeah, I got it. I'm making a corn-corrupted Black Templars army that I perfectly named Blood Templars. I'm still working on some colour schemes for them, but I'm not an expert. Got any suggestions? You probably want some red and you probably want some black in there. Beyond that, I don't know. I'm not the best at that, though. I'm not the best at coming up with custom schemes. It fills me with anxiety trying to do it. Sorry I'm late. That's alright, Sly Guy 77. A Sly Guy 77 is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Right, 124, you're up next. Ah! Oh well, thank you very much to everybody who's subscribed. We're on 85,300. That's cool. Methinks the space walls are going to be quite nice for a bit of growth. But as always, I am remiss once again. I have done the cardinal sin of YouTubing. I have not told you multiple times in this stream to like the stream. But a lot of you have already, so that's 75. That's amazing. Can we get to 100? I don't know. We've got half an hour. But if you are enjoying the stream and you'd like to support the channel a little bit further, you absolutely can do so. You can consider becoming a member of the channel. Just like 546 other people have right now. And if you're already a member, you could consider gifting some memberships so other people can become members. And lastly, there's also the super chat button. If you'd like to send a big, bright, colourful postcard in the chat for me to see and read out, you can do all of that. What if I want to support the channel by finding ways to add to the backlog? Well, I mean, there's other ways of doing that, of course. I don't have I don't have a PO box, which arguably I probably should. But there is always a PayPal link in the description if you'd like to gift to the channel directly, so YouTube doesn't get any cuts. And in the message on PayPal, you can tell me what you intend it for. But as always, I'm a very busy boy all of the time. So remember, it takes a little bit longer to do some things. You have a PayPal link? You know I have a PayPal link. No one changed their name. You are well aware. You found it many times before. What if the message just says cry? I don't know if it happens on demand. Cry. It's also a little threatening, you know? This is a safe space. So totally selfish request and not at all related to the fact I'm collecting Thousand Suns, but do you plan to do a Mutalith Vortex Beast sometime? I do actually have one of those to do. But as always, it's a case of I don't know when. But I do have one. And I will caveat that again and say when I say it'll happen soon, I don't know how soon. I don't know the answer to that question. Because as mentioned, I have many things to do. But I do have a Mutalith Vortex Beast in the house. I mean, it took me a long time to get those Scarab Occult Terminators done, you know. I started those a long time ago. I believe I started those at roughly the same time the Infernal Master came out. So whenever that was. So a long time ago. Soon, TM. Yeah, GG go next. C18. Oh. And C17. I finally got around to painting my second repulsor. I haven't done a single repulsor. I've done a couple of gladiators. One for Space Wolves, one for Blood Angels. What are you building? I'm building Canis Rex. I'm mucking about with guardrails at the moment. It's that fun part. What do you enjoy to paint more? Smaller models like infantry or bigger ones like monsters or vehicles? I mean, I like it all, really. I like building big monsters. I like not building. I like painting big monsters the most, I would say. Stuff like the The most recent being Prince Vordry. That's kind of my favourite thing to do. I like the challenge. Vehicles are kind of, you know... Vehicles are generally quite uninspiring for me to paint. It's just flat panels and it's like, okay, cool. B28. Now, where would you be, B28? Where might you be? Oh, you're over there. Very first entry when I was a fresh Warhipster member. Yeah, it was. I'm going to have to try and live up to your perfection that you submitted. Characters who fit on 40mm are generally what I enjoy the most because I don't get bored halfway through. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Sometimes, like, painting a kill team is really fun, especially everything's, like, super varied. And, like, there's just lots of cool stuff going on. Warcry warbands, though, I think might be my favourite sort of infantry things to paint because they're always nice and varied. There's always a ton of stuff going on. They're just cool, you know. Josh, it is done. What is done? What have you done? Which way round is... Oh, it goes that way round. Right, okay. That makes sense why that wasn't sitting flush. That seriously raises your anxiety, doesn't it? Yes. Yes, it does. Correct. You're going to get Cathay for yourself? Yeah, I might do. 4 manta pieces assembled, 734 left. Keep going. You can do it. C116. Gonna get Cathay for yourself. He will if I have anything to say about it. Are you excited for Cathay as well? No one changed their name. Dragon Lady is sick. I agree. I think that might be... I think the Dragon Lady might be contender for model of the year, in my opinion. I think it is shockingly beautiful. Not sure what to do for the next month. Maybe back to MESBG. Oh, I think you should do some MESBG. Cathay needs no proxies. Best praise I can give something of Old World. Yeah, I would agree. I think the reveal of the Cathay stuff convinced me that it is possible for Games Workshop to make a very distinct Old World army entirely out of plastic that doesn't impeach on it doesn't impede upon Age of Sigmar in any way, shape, or form. And that for me is reason enough that I think it's a legitimate reason as to why, you know, Bretonnia, Tomb Kings, High Elves, Wood Elves, Chaos Warriors, they all deserves its own kind of redo. I need all of the Cathay. All of the Cathay. Give it to me. How much more is there to do with this nightmare fuel? Oh, it's a big old las cannon. Or is it a multi-las? I don't know. So there's half a page, 1 page, 2 page. Okay. Actually not that much left to go. Interesting. Very, very interesting. What time are we on? We're on 7:15. Cathay looks like it's going to be quite a popular release. Oh no, somebody unsubscribed. We're now down to 85,299. That's a shame. Good evening. What are we building today? We are currently building Canis Rex. And we're sort of, I guess, about halfway there. I haven't glued the canopy on yet, but that is the next thing to do, really. It's just all of the little extra bits that go in on the underside. Is something that needs to happen. Though for some reason I can't get it to sit flush now. There we go. It needs its faceplate as well. This is where I've got to with it. Yay! And there's 2.5 pages yet to go. But we've done the basing on the Space Wolves. That was one thing that we needed to do. This is one thing we needed to get done. Get her done. I keep looking at those terracotta sentinels from Cathay and keep thinking, oh. I also keep thinking, Elden Ring? Boom, be-do-do-do, boom. Boom, be-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I think, though, like, one of the things I am terrified for Cathay is having done the Illyrian Reavers not too long ago. They were a brand new plastic version of the Illyrian Reavers. And as a consequence, again, like we were talking about earlier, specialist games, they like to make it so that you have like 4,000 components to put together one model. So I'm worried that something like the Sky Lantern might be in 63,000 components, and as a consequence be an absolute hassle to build. But it is all plastic, so, you know, can you really complain? At least it's not resin. Oh, can you imagine a resin version of the Sky Lantern? I don't think that would ever hold up. The Sky Lantern terrifies me on assembling, painting, and transporting. I agree. Transporting that would be a nightmare. I have to see the size of it. What scheme are you painting that big boy? I don't know. There's a lot you could do. I was thinking there's a couple of things you could do. Well, I mean, look, there's the two box art ones which they've shown off, which is the terracotta one, and then there's the stone one, the granite one, the greyish one. But then it's like they can be made out of anything. So like, what can they be made out of? I don't know. I'd have to see the rules, because that would indicate what you should paint them as it were, or at least if there's any more pictorial depictions of them in the Arcane Journal, like what are the colours that they can be painted. So I don't want. The terracotta one basically does that. No one changed their name. Imagine a really big jade one. Yeah, I was thinking that. Solid gold. Yeah, I mean, I think crucially with that like, I think the size of it is going to be the thing that will make a lot of people think it's really complicated, and I actually don't think it will be that complicated to paint them. I think once you've got the base tone down, you're basically a couple of dry brushes away from finishing it. So if you've got like a really simple scheme, like even if you want to go for like, say, like do an obsidian one, right? If you prime it black and then dry brush it with a couple of greys, it's done. And it'll look fantastic. You just have to then break it up a little bit with a couple of gems here and there. Nearly done with Magnus 30k. Following your guide came out really good. Thank you for the tutorial. Not sure which Primarch to follow next. Only done Dawn so far. Any suggestions? Well, we very recently did Alfarius. That's a very new one. That would be a good one to do. He's really quick. Surprisingly so. I think I'll definitely do the terracotta one, because I have an idea for that in terms of basically brain. There we go, brain. Basically using Gore-Grunter fur, thinning it down, sort of 4:1, 4 parts Gore-Grunter fur to 1 part Lamian medium mix, putting that all over it, doing it twice, and then adding a little bit of like shadows and stuff by stippling in some Cygor brown here and there, and then dry brushing it up with Scrag brown, Deathclaw brown, and Ungor flesh. Like, I was thinking of staring at it the other day, and I was like, that's probably how I would do that. And I was like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 steps. So is there a 7th and an 8th step? And then it's like, how to paint a terracotta sentinel in 8 easy steps. That would be one way of doing it, right? But yeah. Doing them all out of granite, though, would mean that you could also double them up as terrain. Which I think a lot of people will do. Imagine one made from molten lava. Glorfy time. Oh, as in, how do I paint Glorfy? Or is it now time to paint Glorfy? Jumping at the bit for the video. I could spend... There's a number of characters I want to do. I've wanted to do for a while. So, Dernhelm, otherwise known as Eowyn, and Myriad Brandenburg. Gandalf the White on Shadowfax is another. Who else? We could get Sauron done as well. So you could just literally just do them as flat videos on their own. Yeah. It's tricky. It's a tricky thing. It's all time dependent, you see. We'll see how this week shakes out. I've got Hera, Bride of Death to do as well. That's what I've been looking forward to. I think, because I was looking at it, I think I was looking at Hera, Bride of Death the other day. And I was like, I think I figured out how to do this now. Because I think, because she's got there's the 2 separate robes, right? And one of them is almost definitely, without a doubt, Demonette hide. Is almost just no question in my mind. Is it's Demonette hide? It's the under robe, but the outer robe was the bit that was confusing me for a while. And then I thought, well, hold on, it could just be Targor Raidshade and Druchii Violet together. So I sort of 2 to 1, and I think that's probably the right way to do it. $30k Mortarion started. No, not yet. I ran out of time to do that one. I can't remember why. When was Alfarius? That'll tell you why. Studio content. We had Alfarius was the 3rd of May. Oh yeah. Malekith. There was Malekith and the Soulblight Gravelords. Prince Vordry, the Revenant Draconith, Curse Sepulchres, Blades of the Hollow King, and the Manifestations were all videos that needed to get done. So I didn't have time to then go and do Mortarion as well. But yeah. How would you paint Smaug? Smaug's an interesting one, right? Because it's not a particularly detailed model. As dumb as that sounds. So I think the way to paint Smaug is probably to try and tackle it in like, yeah, it's a really, really hard one. Without us also having it right in front of me. But like, I think like, I would guess that Bal Red is probably going to be the best friend as you're doing it. And I think it blends out into orange, and then there's like that faded. It's a faded greyish black that it has that kind of that stipply pattern towards the base of the wings. So, I think if I was to do it, I would probably prime it in Wraithbone to get it nice and warm. And then on the wings especially, and it would just be the wings to focus on at the very first instance. The wings would be to get the whole of the membrane done with Gryph-hound Orange. And then it would be to blend in some Blood Angels Red, blend in some Blood Angels Red again, and then blend in some Cygor Brown towards the wrist of the wing, and that would give it the kind of the membrane, as it were. But yeah, he's a tough one, Smaug, because it's like I said, it's not really actually all that detailed. It's very open and very wide. But like Blood Angels Red is pretty much the colour that the red is. But you do want to use Bal Red to make it quicker, so I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one, that. Probably liberal use of Reichland Flesh Shade as well. Smoke alarm. Yes, there was a smoke alarm. Long time fan. Pretty much petting my Magnus after watching your video more than 50 times. Oh, that's very kind of you, Jagatai K. How long would it take to paint Smaug? Well, again, I don't have it as a reference in terms of size. Let me see. Smaug model size comparison. Images. The size of a small house cat. Building it, I think, is the biggest problem. Okay, it's about the same height as an Imperial Knight. It's about the same height as the thing we've been building this evening. But probably like 3... It'd probably take me 3 days. 3-4 days to do. Currently finishing up my Skaven from all your tutorials. Thank you for the content you've put out. You're very welcome, Johnny Oak. Please do a tutorial on the new Space Wolves blue armor. It's different from the classic blue. Look at the photos of the tanks in the codex on the WGBL's datasheet. What is a WGBL? Oh, the Wolfguard Battle Leader. Yeah, well, yeah, see, look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. These photos are color corrected. So they're lit with a blue light to make it look bluer. What you're better off doing is looking there, for example, at Arjak or at Ragnar. That's the color it should be. This is what I've done. I've done a bluer blue than I did before. There it is. you can see it in comparison to... There's Ragnar. That's the new one. So I have added a bluer tone to it. You can really see it there on the backpacks. See what I mean? Would you say your Ragnar tutorial is still up to date, or are there things you would change? Yeah, there are things I have changed about the Space Wolves armor. I really like how I've come up with it now. I think it looks fantastic. I hope you guys agree. This is the Wolf Priest. We have our Blood Claws here, and we have our Grey Hunters there. What's really cool, actually, now, is if you put Ragnar in there like that, he's a little bit different, a little bit colder, a little bit older, but he's still he now really fits with his own range, which is really cool. The way I could bring that closer towards this blue is to just take a thinned down Tyran blue and slap it over the top. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go back and change it because I don't need to. It looks good as it is. I like it the way it is. There you go. Would you say I'm better off following the Battle Leader tutorial for Ragnar and go back to the older tutorial for the sword? You certainly could. Yeah, if you wanted to do that, that's up to you. There's 4 more videos yet to come. There's the Head Takers, the Wolf Priest, the Grey Hunters, and the Blood Claws videos yet to come. And I'm sure a little bit later on in the year there will be a Logan, an Arjak, a Njal, and a Wolfguard Terminators video as well. Will the Head Takers include the wolves? It certainly does. All 3 and 3 different wolf recipes. It's a good video, that, I hope. Great job with the Space Wolves. Do you think you would do some of the other Chaos Legions, such as Word Bearers or Iron Warriors? I mean, I have already done them, Zap. I've done them in Horus Heresy, and it's basically just duplicate that again. I did all 18 Legions. Tutorial coming for the standard Space Wolves. Yes. Tutorials coming for everything in the Space Wolves box. For doing Horus Heresy Blood Angels tanks, would you say Blood Angels red or Baal red and then Agrax over that? Baal red first always. It's much easier to do. How would you paint a white wolf for the Head Takers / wolf pelts? I would use Nuln Oil. And then that would be it. You'd be done. I haven't done them as Chaos Space Marines, Zap Brannigan, but I have done them as Mark 6 Marines. So yeah, it's Word Bearers, Night Lords, Iron Warriors, Alpha Legion, Red Thousand Suns. We've done them all. Boom. Boom. So yeah. an absolute ton of Space Wolf content coming for you guys. Please don't worry about that. Because, like I said, there will be one tomorrow. There will be a Space Wolves video tomorrow. It will be... Tomorrow's Tuesday. So... oh, I have too many videos this week. Okay, so it's Tuesday tomorrow. So there'll be a video tomorrow. There'll be a video on Thursday. And there'll be a video on Friday. Maybe we don't live stream on Wednesday. And then you can have another video. Or maybe we will live stream on Wednesday. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Either way. You've got Head Takers, Blood Claws, Grey Hunters, and the Wolf Priest videos all on the way for you to sink your fangs into. That's all coming. We may or may not be live on Wednesday. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. Yeah, bundles of content. Oodles of it. Have you done Grimdark style before? I'd like to do Death Guard in Grimdark. Can you point me to a decent video? Depends what you mean by Grimdark style. Basically. Because we've got Heresy Death Guard, and I've got 40k Death Guard. Lord of Poxes. So you're saying MESBG content all month, every month? Sweet. Definitely trying. We're trying to get to a place where there will be at least a couple of MESBG videos a month for sure. And we're overflowing with it now. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of content on the way. So you know, keep an eye out on the channel as we hurtle towards 1,000 painting videos. Well, 1,000 long form videos. I looked that up the other day as well. We should be on 752 long form videos now. And by long form videos, I mean ones that I've edited and put together. So painting tutorials, sprue reviews, the occasional battle tome review. Back when we used to do those, but nobody watched them, so I stopped doing them. Oh, we got more than that. We are on 760. Maybe 763 now. Hold on. Nearly there. Almost. 2 more. 1 more. Yeah, 761 long form videos. Can you believe it? And we won't hit 1,000 this year because there aren't enough days to do that now. There was a point at the beginning of the year where we were daily contenting, but you know, we're not going to do that now. But it is going to be daily content for a little while now. It is entirely plausible that it will be daily content, basically starting from last Saturday, the 24th, to possibly mid-July. Do you have the most painting tutorials online? No. No, not yet. No, I can't imagine that I do. There are people who've been around a lot longer than I have, and are a lot bigger than I have, that will have more videos than I. I'd like to get to 1,000 painting videos because I feel like that sounds quite neat, saying I have 1,000 painting videos. Surely something in there will be to your fancy. Will be to your taste. Surely that's something I would like to be able to say, which would be cool. But I think we'll probably hit that next year. I would guess. You probably have the biggest beard, though. I don't think I have that either. I think Liam's definitely got a bigger beard than I have. Intrigued to start the hobby thanks to your videos and appreciate the incredible tutorials. For someone completely new to the hobby, what tips do you have for someone new to painting? The best tip I can give you is there's a couple. The best tips I can give you, and this will, we're gonna run off in a minute because we're now 15 minutes over. The best tips I can give you are: one, the internet is a great resource for research. It is. It's a fantastic resource for research. By all means, look through all of my videos. Check out Painting Coach. Check out who else? Darcy Bono. Check out Millie here in chat if she's still here. Who else? Check out a bunch of different people, right? The internet is a fantastic resource for getting into the hobby and figuring out how to do stuff. It's also a place where you can end up in this sort of comparison hole, and remember that all of those people have been doing it for a very, very, very long time, and so they are showing you how you can do stuff. Don't compare yourself to them. Don't compare yourself to me. Do not do that, because if like me, you do get into a bit of a, well, mine doesn't look like that thing, therefore I'm crap. That's not the case. You are a great painter for even starting, and getting some paint on the miniature is a fantastic thing to do. The only thing, as Hype R has said there, the only model to outperform is your previous model, not anybody else anywhere on the internet. So basically, the internet is a fantastic resource for learning, and is a fantastic resource for recipes and techniques and product recommendations and all that good stuff. It is a terrible, terrible resource for social pressure, basically. The other bit of advice I will give you is, remember, it's fun. Have fun with it. Do what you want to do, because there is no rules. There is only recommendations, right? There's no rules to any of this. There's no hard and fast, this is what you must do. You don't have to paint them this color. You don't have to paint things that way. You don't have to do any of that. You can do whatever you want. It's fun. It's creative. Be relaxed and enjoy it as much as you possibly can. And the third piece of advice I can give is just kind of don't go too fast and don't go too fast too soon, basically. There is a tendency within Warhammer to be like, I'm interested in this thing, I will buy every single thing. Don't do that. Because that will overwhelm you, and it will feel like it's too much to get through. It will feel like it's too much. It'll become, you'll have created a mountain for yourself to climb. Take it steady and do it piecemeal at a time. Just take chunks and just go for it. And just have fun, basically. Is the best thing. I mean, obviously we can get into more and more kind of more and more details and all that kind of thing. But that's where you look at the videos, you know. And this, that, and the other. But yeah. Relax and enjoy my hobby. Well, now I'm stressed. I'm sorry. I don't mean... I'm not judging you. No one changed their name. Look, we all do it. And it's a piece of advice I hand out to anybody who's just starting is... If you're like, I'm interested... And what I should clarify that is, I'm interested in Warhammer 40,000. So if you Google Warhammer 40,000 and how to get started, what you'll see is a lot of people will be like, these are the things you need to buy for your 2,000 point army. No, don't do that. Like that's what I mean. Is if you're interested in it, like, and you buy a box of 10, let's just say you buy a box of 10 Space Marines and you build and paint them and you really enjoy that experience, then by all means, go hard. You know? But don't buy a 2,000 point army, try and build and paint one and hate it and be like, well, there we go. What a shame. Don't start, it's a trap. It's too late for me, but save yourself. No one will ever see me cry. No one? That is remarkable to have got this far in life. Only private crying. I do it in public all the time. I'd say it's liberating, but it isn't. Do a 3,000 point army instead, says Adam. No. That's going even bigger. That's going even harder. Then going home. Anyway. Yeah, no one changed their name frequently does that to me. To be fair, Sam sees me cry daily. Yeah, but that's only because you cut a lot of onions at home, don't you? Which isn't really the same, is it? You know? Just constantly cutting onions. All the time. That's what happens here, to be fair. When talking about the rules online, remember, wargamers hate two things. Current state of the game and change. Yeah. Everyone hates the way things are, and they hate the way things are going to change to. Yeah. Did you tear up on the train? Of course. I was next to a total stranger, and they were like... The problem is, I look like I do. So they're like, That's weird. You're a weird... You're a weird guy, bro. And I'm like, yeah. But anyway. Guys, it is now 10 to 8. And as you probably heard the smoke alarm earlier, I need to go. So that is the end of today's stream. As already mentioned, there is a ton of painting content on the way for you this week. And we will be back on Wednesday for more whatever this is. But I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week if I don't speak to you before then. So, have a cracking week, everybody. You glorious, wonderful community. And I shall raise the hand of farewell and ways it at you. Bye for now. Love you, chat. Did I mention you look great today? You do. Just in case no one's told you yet. You look fantastic. Bye.